gorilla stomping in a zoo. Check the vocals, animals gather right. Boom.
Hey everybody, and welcome back for another video where, as you can see, we're outdoors and I'm going to be resuming construction on this outdoor rabbit enclosure. So in particular, I got to start digging some post holes. And I know what you're thinking, well, you just had the heavy machinery there, why are you digging some more? Well, for the individual posts, I just got to go down about a foot, just make a little bit of space for a 4x4 post. And I want a little bit of a basin because I'm going to be cementing them down. So that's the idea for today's work. I'm going to get started with the digging, and then we'll get into some construction of the enclosure itself. And there's really not much more to say than that, so let's just get to work. So before I get down in the hole and start digging there, I just want you guys to kind of take in what I did off camera. And basically I just ran a couple of string lines in line with the chicken coop, because that's what I'm orientating things to. And I marked out an 8x10 grid as far as a few spray painted post markings and sticks and such. Basically just worked it out in my head, squared things up a bit, and just get the layout proper. Okay, so now exactly where I need to dig is laid out, so I know just to get down there, get those post holes done, and we'll actually be in construction, and then I'll cement back around afterwards before backfilling. So that's the idea. So I'm going to hop down in the hole, start digging those post holes, and you guys come along with me. And there we are. That's about a foot deep there now. So I got to do that 5 more times. Alright, so let's check the depth here now. And it's just less than a foot, but as you can see in the back there's a ton of rock, and large rock at that. Right? Now, I don't know if that's 2 separate big rocks on top of each other or if that's one big giant one. Anyways, it's not moving. So the concrete, when I pour that, that'll grip onto those rocks and we should be just fine. So I'll keep moving forward to the next hole. Thankfully, where this rabbit enclosure is going is right underneath this maple tree. So I'm in the shade here now, which is very nice because it's about 24 to 26 degrees Celsius right now. So I'm kind of just going at a slow pace here, just so I don't drop on camera here out of heat exhaustion. So I'm pretty much taking my post points that I made and just making sure to dig a big enough hole to reach down that foot that I want to go down. And then once all the holes are done, I'm going to get into assembly, and once the outer edges are assembled, that's when I'm going to make sure everything is squared up before I put in cement. That's the idea. Alright, that's number 3 done. But the ground is just rocky. So my little 1 foot goal is not really being achieved very easily. But I am making enough of a basin to make a concrete footing on each of these posts. So once it's all backfilled, that little bit of concrete will be enough to act as a hook, as an anchor point, and this should be fine. So pretty much it almost feels like bedrock the way there's just nothing given there now. Alright, on to number 4. Alright, so that's going to clue up this hole here. Let's move on to the last one now. Alrighty, so with that last one done, that's 6 holes, and that's as deep as I'm going with it. I don't care if they need to go deeper. This is plenty, absolutely plenty. Alright, time to get to test fitting, I guess. Let's mock something up here and see how we stand, literally and figuratively. Alright, so I'm just going to begin now by putting my 4x4 posts in place, and then I'll come back to you guys and explain what measurements and stuff I'm using. Alright, so just to break down how this assembly is going to happen now. So I want 8 foot on the front and back, 10 foot on both sides. And since I want those to be to the outside corner of the posts, my cross beams are actually going to be shorter than the 8 and 10 feet length that I want. So for example, the front wall is going to be 8 feet wide, but I got 2 posts included in that, right? And each post is 3.5 inches wide itself. Add those together, you got 7 inches, and so I got to take that off of the 8 feet that I want to cross, so that the whole thing together is 8 feet. So 8 feet is 96 inches, minus that 7 inches is going to be 89 inches. So I'm going to cut 2 2x4s at 89 inches, and the sides are going to be a little bit more tricky, but at the same time not, just because there's an extra post in there, and I'm going to have 2 pieces on top and 2 pieces on bottom, and you know, quick math, 10 feet 120 inches minus 7 for the 2 side posts is 113, minus another 3.5, so that'd be 109.5 inches total for the side in 2x4, but I got to divide that in 2 sections. Right, so that's 109.5 divided by 2. So you're talking about 54 3/4, I guess. Somewhere around there. I think it's 54 3/4. So anyways, I'm going to be making those cuts and then doing the assembly. And that should give me all the dimensions properly. The only thing I'll have to do after that is just adjust some of the corners to make sure it's square. So I'll be measuring from corner to corner When those become equal, it's squared, and it'll be done. So anyways, that's my idea. There's a lot of background noise and everything going on here, so I'll probably kick you guys into some music possibly during the editing process. We'll see what happens. But between helicopters and people mowing the grass and my kids and the neighbors' kids playing, it's a lot of noise around, so it's probably best if I just throw a bit of overlay audio on for you guys and get this going. So my first two cuts are going to be 89 inches a piece, and I'm going to be mounting them at ground level, all right, up on the post. So I'm not going right down to the bottom of the post putting bracing on. I'm just gonna put on at ground level, and then I'll pretty much stand up and make sure the top level clears my head and put it on at that level. All right, we're not getting too crazy with measurements here. Anyways, that's enough. The noise level's picking up here. I'm gonna get to work, and wish me luck. Here we go. Alright, so at this point in time we got one wall done, and I've decided I'm going to keep the bottom level of supports and the top at the same level all around. So I'm just going to use my square, transfer my markings from my mounts on the front wall, and just transfer it around the side and use those again. And then I'll get level to the middle beam and attach just like we did, and we'll just carry on all the way around. So these boards here, by the way, I worked out the math with you guys earlier, but anyways, these are 54 3/4, I believe these ended up being. I think that's what we worked out previously. Alright everybody, that's going to conclude today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something, and thanks for coming along on our journey in creating this rabbit enclosure. So we'll resume again next video, and that may be tomorrow. But otherwise, hope you're happy, hope you're healthy, take care of each other, and peace out.